Good afternoon, everyone. Today we are going to talk about the Comset SMS app, which allows you to control a Comset 4G router via SMS, as well as controlling devices sitting behind the router. So let's begin. I click on the Comset SMS app, and here we have the welcome screen. Welcome to Comset SMS. Please enter the mobile number of the router you wish to control. Now here I have pre-entered the mobile number. This is the mobile number of the SIM card that is inserted inside the Comset router. And then click on Enter Comset. Now here we have the main menu. We have the home page, the settings page. I'll come to this page in a second, but the settings page allows you to rename some of the commands. Here we have the control router page, the control device page, and that's controlling the devices behind the router, about us, and contact us. Let's click on the control router page, and here, as you can see, there are a few commands. I'm going to go through them, but first let me see if I can enlarge the screen, and I'll move it to the center. Now click on control router. Now the first command is the Wi-Fi command. You can turn Wi-Fi on and off. So I'm going to click on off, and as you can see, it is now processing, and here we have the status, which can take up to a minute. Now the reason people turn Wi-Fi off, the main reason is to save on power consumption. Especially if you are using a solar panel and a battery and you need to reduce the power consumption, you turn Wi-Fi off if it is not required. The other reason is to have a secure router. So if you want to prevent people from attempting to access your device via Wi-Fi. So as you can see now, there's the green tick box, and also we get a message notification. Now the second item is cell or internet. You can turn internet on or off. Now at the moment I have internet is off, so I am going to turn it on. I click on the on button, and again processing, and here we have under the status, it will take up to a minute again to process, and just the other reason why you need to turn cell off is to save on power consumption as well. Now if cell is off, as you can see here, you can still send an SMS. So cell was off, and I am sending an SMS to turn cell on. So you can send any of the other commands as well while cell is off. So we'll wait for this to process, and here it is. We have the green tick box. The next item is reboot. I am not going to click reboot now, but this is a very important feature. If you have a problem or an issue with your router, it is recommended to reboot the router, and this is very handy to reboot it via SMS instead of having to send a technician on site to reboot the router. I scroll down, and here we have cell status. So if I click on the I next to cell status, as you can see, the cell was down before, but now I turned it on. So now I click on cell status to refresh this information. And I'll talk about these items here. So cell will show you whether the internet is up or down. Signal is in bars, tell you how strong the signal is. And this will determine if you have a weak signal. That means you need a high gain antenna in the location where the router is. The WAN IP. The WAN IP can be a private WAN IP or a public WAN IP. This is a very important reading if you have a public IP, in particular a dynamic public IP. Instead of having to use DNS, you can obtain the public IP and access the router remotely. Now as you can see, we got the information here. So the cell is up because we just turned it on before. Signal strength, it is a private IP 10.98.64.6. This is the LAN IP of the device itself. and network. The network is connected to FDD, LTE, which is 4G. I'll show you if it's connected to 3G or 4G and so on. Now I go back to the home page, and now I'll click on the next page, which is Control Device. But before I do that, I am going to go to the settings page to show you that here we have how to edit the control of the devices we need to control. So I entered earlier, instead of DIO 0, I put lights. Here I put pump. And here I left it blank, but you can put something like air conditioner or gate or anything you wish to control. And these are the 4 digital output that you are controlling. So after you enter, you rename the command, you click on Save. So now that we have gone through this page, let's go to Control Device page. And you can see the commands. The 4 digital output are to the left-hand side. So let's, for example, turn the lights on. We click on, and again it's processing, and this is the status. Now when we press on, the voltage on the digital output will go from 0 volt to 3.3 volt. This in turn will activate a relay on a relay board, and the relay will turn the lights on. And here we go, we have the status. Now if I scroll down, you can see here the DIO status. Again, you click on DIO status to refresh the page, and it'll give you, for example, the first DIO is on and the other 3 I haven't touched. They are off. This is how to use the Comset SMS app. It's very straightforward, and it saves you a lot of time instead of having to send an engineer on site to control the router. Thank you for watching.